The British monarchy has always balanced grand ceremony with private turmoil, but seldom has that contrast felt sharper than it does today. King Charles III, who waited more than 7 decades for the crown, finds himself pulled between constitutional duty and parental heartache, between the obligations of a sovereign and the complicated reality of a father whose youngest son has charted an unpredictable new life across the Atlantic. On the surface, Charles appears to be guiding the institution forward with measured calm, opening state occasions, meeting world leaders, setting a tone of continuity after the late Queen's 70-year reign, but beneath that veneer courtiers whisper about contingency plans, secret meetings and the uncomfortable possibility of unprecedented steps should Prince Harry and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, once again challenge the patience of the palace. According to well-placed sources, the king's restraint has limits. He did not strip Harry of the Sussex dukedom in the painful months after Megxit, nor in the wake of bombshell interviews with Oprah Winfrey, nor even after the worldwide publication of Spare, a memoir whose piercing details left senior royals reeling. Many observers read that leniency as proof of enduring paternal love, and as a calculated effort to avoid turning a family feud into a constitutional crisis, yet insiders now suggest a tougher strategy is quietly taking shape. Within the royal household, senior aides have reportedly convened discreet discussions, some say more than once, about removing Harry's title if further public attacks undermine the monarchy's credibility. Such a step cannot simply be willed into existence by King Charles. Peerages are creations of Parliament, and revoking one would demand fresh legislation debated in both houses and approved by the monarch only at the very end of a fraught political process. That reality raises the stakes enormously, for no modern sovereign has ever sought to strip a blood prince of a title his grandmother conferred in good faith on the morning of his wedding. Why contemplate so drastic an option at all? Palace aides point to a single phrase rumored to appear in private briefings: future behavior. In effect, the Sussex dukedom now seems to hang on a pledge, unwritten yet clearly understood, that Harry and Meghan will not again deliver televised indictments of royal life, or commercial projects that portray the firm as callous or bigoted. Should another such broadside emerge, the palace wishes to be ready with a measured but definitive response that demonstrates standards still apply, even to the king's own son. Insiders insist Charles is privately torn. On the one hand, he aches to see his grandchildren, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, whose California upbringing limits the warm, spontaneous moments that grandparents cherish. On the other hand, he feels duty-bound to protect an institution that predates Magna Carta and must, in his mind, endure unshaken for generations to come. That tension explains why the monarch has reportedly told Prince William that ultimate responsibility for acting, if action proves necessary, will fall to the next sovereign. The king may endorse the principle, but it is William, already shouldering more public burden, who would navigate the storm when the time comes. Adding still more intrigue is the role of Queen Camilla. Long cast as Charles's staunchest ally, she is said by some commentators to favor a firm line toward Harry, counseling her husband not only on titles, but even on matters of inheritance. Palace spokespeople refuse to comment on details of any royal will, stressing such documents remain sealed for many decades. Yet rumors persist that Camilla has encouraged the king to ensure core assets remain within the circle of working royals who uphold the crown day in and day out. Even if exaggerated, such talk underscores how little trust lingers between Windsor and Montecito. The couple, once hailed as modernizers of the monarchy, young, dynamic, loved on their wedding day, now appear caught in a delicate standoff with the very family they once served so publicly. Across the Atlantic, Harry and Meghan continue to cultivate an image of independence, producing podcasts, docuseries and philanthropic ventures through their Archewell Foundation from the leafy seclusion of their $14 million Montecito estate. They travel selectively, often to support Harry's signature project, the Invictus Games, which will return to British soil in 2027. That event alone may force a reckoning, should the Duke extend formal invitations to the royal family, Charles, as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, would be expected to attend a celebration of wounded veterans, yet appearing beside his estranged son would thrust their relationship back onto the world stage. Courtiers have already debated the optics, weighing the diplomatic gains of unity against the risk of opening fresh wounds before a global audience. Some advisors argue a brief, carefully choreographed encounter could signal magnanimity, others fear it would merely reignite speculation about the monarchy's capacity to forgive without surrendering its dignity. Meanwhile, Prince William and Princess Catherine press ahead, with a vision of the crown that is increasingly, unmistakably theirs. Polls show Britons trust them more than any other royals, and with every school visit, hospital ward walkthrough and international climate summit, William seems to move a step closer to center stage. Behind closed doors he and his father remain aligned on key principles, yet everyone at court understands the politics of succession. Sooner or later William will be the one to decide whether the Sussex dukedom endures or dissolves into history. He alone must judge whether a new breach, another memoir, a docuseries, a public criticism, crosses the line Charles has drawn. The path he chooses will reveal not only his feelings toward a brother once called his best mate, but also his instincts for protecting the crown he will inherit. For now the sword remains sheathed, its glint merely rumored in late-night briefings and hushed conversations beneath the chandeliers of Buckingham Palace. Yet the existence of a contingency plan, however informal, speaks volumes. The House of Windsor is bracing for every scenario, unwilling to be caught off guard should familial pain again spill into the public square. Monarchies survive on ritual, symbolism, and the steady rhythm of inherited duty, but in the modern age they must also manage reputation in real time, balancing love with law, kinship with constitutional survival. In that delicate equation, King Charles still hopes his grandchildren will know him not as a stern ruler, but as a gentle grandfather. Whether that hope can coexist with the hard calculus of royal command is a question only the future, and the behavior of all involved, can answer.